Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Joelle Simone Anthony. I'm also known as the Grave Woman. And today I am going to answer two questions that I received from our 12 days of birthday giveaway. I believe it was day 6 or 7 when we asked you to share your funeral service related question. If I'm wrong about that, please forgive me. But I wanted to take the time to answer some of your questions. I'm going to do my best to answer all of the questions received, but there were two that really stuck out to me that I've been thinking about, and I wanted to go ahead and answer those today. The first question, I don't remember exactly who this came from, but it reads, I'm currently in the beginning of my schooling for a funeral director. I've seen many drop out of the program. My question is, was there ever a time you thought you couldn't do this job? And how did you get through it? To be honest, yes, there have been multiple times where I thought that maybe the funeral service industry and working with the deceased and their families was a bit too much. And I discussed some of that in the video that myself and Little Miss Funeral did about compassion, fatigue, and burnout. But to give you some very specific examples, I'm going to discuss two things. One thing that really got to me was burying young Black men on a consistent basis. And this bothered me because of the way that they were dying. It's not like these young men were getting into car accidents or dying from cancer or some other health-related uncontrollable issue. These young men that I'm referring to, these young Black men, were dying due to gun, drug, and gang violence. And it really began to take a toll on me as an African-American woman and as a person who grew up with such positive role models in my father and my grandfather, my uncles, and just other positive men in my community, and also having friends that are African-American men, being in love with an African-American man, and just seeing what was happening to these young African-American men dying on a consistent basis, it really began to take an emotional toll on me. And I actually took a break from the funeral service industry about, I think this is about 2014, 2015, when a gentleman came into the funeral home to view his brother. And in his grief, I guess he hadn't learned that his best friend had been shot to death, and his brother also passed away due to gun violence, and was in the same, his visitation was going on at the same time as his brother's. And that young man just broke down. I think he ran into someone that he knew, leaving the chapel of the funeral home, and they told him, hey, we were wondering where you've been. We were trying to get in contact with you to let you know that such and such had been killed, and we're actually here. I think the man that I'm talking about thought that they were coming to visit his brother, when in actuality they were coming to visit his best friend. And just seeing that and seeing the despair and the grief and the just what he was going through, it really took a toll on me. I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back, as they say. But seeing young Black men killed on a consistent basis, whether it be to police brutality or just drug, gang, and gun violence, it really took a toll on me. And I had to take a break. That's how I got through it. I needed to take a break. I sought therapy, and I just took some time to reflect and really take some time for myself. The break was about 6 months long, and I basically just did not go to the funeral home for 6 months. This was during my apprenticeship, so I had that luxury to take that break. If I would have been fully employed with the funeral home at that time, I think I would have had to quit my job, because I just needed that break to reset. And another question that kind of goes hand in hand with that question was, it reads, my question is, are you fully able to disconnect from your work when you go home, or do some things stick with and bother you more than others? Is there moments when you need a breather, like stepping outside for a prayer or a fresh breath of air? Is there ever moments when you feel you're overwhelmed? Yes, there are. And I think that will be the answer that you get from any funeral director about this job. There have been moments where I've had to excuse myself out of the arrangement conference room and just cry, or just, get a hug, or go outside and take a breather, whether it's from frustration with working with a difficult family, whether it was from being so overwhelmed with emotion due to the circumstances surrounding someone's death, or just feeling the pain and the hurt that a family's going through because of their loss. There have been times when I have cried with families. So yes, there's times where I have to step aside and pray. And for me, I'm constantly praying when I'm working with a family, maybe not out loud, but in my heart and in my mind, I'm always seeking guidance from my source and my creator to say the right words, to do the right thing, or to have the right responses to certain questions. And when I say right, I don't mean like right or wrong. I mean right, like appropriate for the circumstance and the situation at hand. Are there things that stick with me more than others? I truly do not enjoy working on the deceased who have decided to commit suicide. It's not like a judgment. It's not like I'm judging them, or I think they're bad people or weak people or anything like that. It's not like that. It pains me because it makes me wonder what they were experiencing that was so horrible that they thought taking their lives was the answer to their problem, and seeing the effect that it has on those that they leave behind. That truly bothers me. Another thing that I think I've discussed before is that I truly don't like working on the deceased who have been in automobile accidents. And I don't really know why that is. It's a phobia of mine, I'm going to be honest. It's been a fear of mine for a very long time to pass away in a car accident. I don't know why. There's no reason for me to have this fear. I only know one person who has ever passed away in a car accident, and that's another thing that stuck with me that I'll talk about in just a second. But that bothers me, because maybe it's because it's something that we all do every day, and it's like playing Russian roulette. When you get in your car and you put on your seatbelt, you don't know whether you're going to arrive safely at your destination. And I'm not trying to be morbid or scary or anything like that. It's just something that sticks with me when people who have passed away in car accidents come through the funeral home. Now, I was talking a second ago about someone that I knew that passed away due to injuries sustained in a car accident. And she was a classmate of mine in elementary, not really elementary, middle and high school. And she and I honestly did not get along during that time. I don't know why. But later on in life, like after college, actually while I was in mortuary school, she and I won't say we became friends, but we began to develop a relationship. And I'm not going to say her name or share any details about the accident to protect her privacy, but she passed away on her birthday, going home from her birthday party in a car accident. And that is something that has truly stuck with me. And this is why. The morning of her accident, I woke up at about, I'll say 4 o'clock in the morning. And I got on my phone first thing, which at the time I didn't do. And I got on Instagram. And she had posted a picture of herself at her birthday party. And I was thinking to myself, wow, we have really come a long way since we were in middle school. And I just wanted to say something positive to her. And what I said on that post was, "You are beautiful." And there's a reason why I said that. When we were younger, she was picked on a lot because of a skin condition that she had. And she had confided in me that part of the reason she didn't like me was because, or that, her part of not liking me was that, she thought I had pretty skin. And I was telling her when she told me that she was beautiful. I always thought that she was beautiful. I didn't even really know she had that skin condition until I heard others talking about it. And I just wanted to tell her that she was beautiful. So that was kind of like a message between she and I. She would know exactly what I was saying when I said that. So I put my phone down. I posted that message to her, or that comment to her, put my phone down, went about my day. Later on that day, a mutual friend of ours called and said, hey, did you hear this person passed away? And I said, oh my God, no, it's her birthday. Somebody's playing. They got the details mixed up. And they were like, no, she actually passed away this morning, early this morning, around 3-4 o'clock in the morning, on the way from her birthday party. And that has always stuck with me. And it sticks with me because I, at that time, would never pick up my phone and go on social media at that time. And I've always wondered whether or not she got that message. So those are the answers to those two questions. Again, I'm going to try my best to answer all of the questions received, but I wanted to answer those because they stuck out to me the most. My name is Joelle Simone Anthony. If you'd like to learn more about The Grave Woman, please visit my website, www.thegravewoman.com. I'd love to hear from you and connect with you on social media. I'm at The Grave Woman everywhere. Live life, love hard, and I'll talk to you next time.